There is a team that has to win, not because it's the favorite. And it's not because it's Brazil, but because. After the unexpected draw against Morocco in the first match, now Ancelotti's team has no margin for error. And the Italian coach faces this second match knowing that a victory would put qualification for the Canarinha almost within reach. But it's also true that another setback could turn the last group match into a real final. And on the other side will be Haiti, who have absolutely nothing to lose. A team that lost by the minimum against Scotland, but left a very good impression during many stretches of the match. And precisely because of that, this match is much more dangerous than it seems. But before it starts, there's a question that thousands of fans are asking themselves right now. Where can you watch the Brazil versus Haiti match? What time does it start? And which channel will broadcast it in each country? Because depending on where you're watching from, the schedule changes completely. And over the next few minutes, we're going to tell you absolutely everything. The schedules, the official channels, the possible lineups, how both teams are coming into the match. And we'll also analyze what changes Carlo Ancelotti is preparing after Brazil's disappointing debut. But wait, because there's a very important detail. Brazil drew against Morocco, and that result has completely changed the outlook of Group C. Right now, the Canarinha absolutely needs to win. And not just win, but also be convincing. Because the criticism after the first match has been huge, the Brazilian press expected much more from Ancelotti's debut in a World Cup. And the coach himself admitted that his team played well below the expected level. Let's get to the important part. The match in Spain will start at 2:30 in the morning. In Portugal, the match will start at 1:30 in the morning. For Brazil, the match starts at 9:30 at night in Argentina, also at 9:30 at night, the same as in Uruguay. For Chile, the match will be at 8:30, just like in Paraguay, Bolivia, and Venezuela. For Colombia, Peru, and Ecuador, the match will be at 7:30, the same as for Mexico, Costa Rica, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, and Panama. If you want to watch the match from the Dominican Republic, you'll have to do it starting at 9:30 at night. In Puerto Rico at 8:30, the same as in the U.S. East. In U.S. Central, it will be at 7:30 in U.S. Mountain at 6:30 and in U.S. Pacific at 5:30 in the afternoon. Now comes the big question. Where can you watch this real great match? In Spain, you can follow it directly from the DAZN Mundial app. In Brazil, it will be broadcast by TV Globo, Sport TV, and also by KCTV. In Mexico, it will be available on Canal 5 Tudem, Azteca Deportes, and ViX. If you're going to watch it from the United States, you can see it on Fox Sports and Telemundo. In Argentina, it will be broadcast on TC Sport, D Sport, and Digo. If you're going to watch the match from Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Chile, Uruguay, Paraguay, or Venezuela, you can see it on D Sport and Digo. If you didn't know where to watch the match yet, now you have this information. But be careful, because this match is worth much more than just 3 points. Brazil has only 1 point after the draw against Morocco, while Haiti lost to Scotland. That means both teams are practically forced to get a good result to keep their hopes of advancing alive. And that's exactly why we expect a much more aggressive Brazil, much more determined, and with a different mentality from the very first minute. Now let's look at Brazil's possible lineup. Everything points to Carlo Ancelotti keeping the main core, although he could make 2 or 3 changes looking for more depth and more speed in attack. The possible lineup would be as follows. Alisson in goal, defense with Danilo, Marquinhos, Gabriel Magallanes, and Alex Alexandro. In midfield would be Casemiro and Bruno Guimaraes, with Lucas Paquetá playing a bit further forward. In attack, Rafinha would appear on the right, Vinicius on the left, and as the main striker, Mateus Cunha or even Hendrick could come in as he is pushing to be a starter after the lackluster offensive performance in the debut. And this is precisely where one of the big questions arises. Will Ancelotti change the formation? because during Brazil's first match, they had a lot of trouble creating clear chances. The ball was maybe moving too slowly, there was little movement, and Vinicius was always receiving the ball far from the box. That's why it wouldn't be surprising to see a much more direct team, with Rafinha and Vinicius constantly looking for one-on-one situations, and with a much more mobile striker as well. Personally, we believe that Hendrick will be the striker. Now, it's not wise to underestimate Haiti because even though many people think it will be an easy match, their coach has made it very clear that they're coming in with no fear and no pressure. He has stated that facing Brazil is a dream for the whole country, but also a unique opportunity to make history. And he has reminded everyone that Haiti has nothing to lose and absolutely everything to gain. That mentality can make them a very, very tough opponent. Another important aspect is that Neymar will not be available. The Brazilian star is still recovering from his muscle injury and will continue working on the sidelines while the rest of the team travels to Philadelphia. That means all the offensive responsibility will once again fall on Vinicius, Rafinha, and Lucas Paquetá. But wait, because there's another fact that could shape the match, the goal difference. Goal difference. If they achieve a big win, they'll go into the last match day with their fate entirely in their own hands. Also, they could regain their confidence before facing Scotland. That's why, if the score is favorable, don't expect Ancelotti to take his foot off the gas. On the contrary, he'll look to score as many goals as possible. Everything is ready. Brazil needs to win to avoid a crisis in the middle of the World Cup. Haiti wants to pull off one of the biggest upsets of the tournament. Two teams, two completely different goals, but the same need to take all 3 points. And now only one question remains. Will we see the Brazil everyone expects, or will Haiti be able to pull off one of the biggest shocks of this World Cup? Whatever the answer, it's clear that the Brazil we're seeing right now is very far from what we saw with Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, Robinho, Roberto Carlos, and company. That Brazil was truly scary, and that Brazil was absolutely historic. Will Rafinha, Vinicius, and company be able to maintain the expected level even though the team isn't showing the level that's expected? We'll see tonight.